Last time up at the ranch, a visit from my family and we got straight to work picking up the large rocks and log chunks left over from the logging that was done previous to our purchase of the property. We worked a long day of ups and downs and trial and error trying to figure out what will work best with what we have or can afford to create our future hayfield.
Chris's face. Scratch that idea. If you guys got a better idea of what we gotta use here, freaking let us know. Oh.
From picking up by hand to using an old chain harrow to in the end going back to Chris's iron channel bridge he made by being pulled behind the bulldozer. Watch us tackle the septic field for the house. Hopefully things eventually start to go as planned while building this off-grid homestead.
Alright, so I'm back up here on another Friday. It's now 4 p.m. I got up here around 8 o'clock. Unloaded a few things off the trailer. Still have a couple other on there, and then I waited for the guys to bring 2 more sea cans up here, which I got dropped way over there. Then I had to whip into town and do another beef delivery, and then got back and I figured, well, I want to work on the septic this weekend. I figured I kind of need the rock truck to move some of this rock and gravel. So I worked on that for a bit. I ended up unhooking all the fuel lines. Checked if there was any screens in there that might have been plugged. There weren't any screens. Put everything back together. Primed it all. Bled the injectors. And nothing. It just cranks and cranks and cranks. Doesn't want to fire. And at the same point, it doesn't crank as quick as it used to, and it seems to stop. There's a slight pause after like a full cycle of all the cylinders, and then it goes again. So I don't know if I overheated it, cooked the cylinder maybe, or if the starter's just pooched, because it gets pretty bloody hot to the point it starts to smoke. Battery, well, I jumped it off my truck and I jumped it off the excavator. They both did the same thing. So I'm kind of at my wit's end. I'm a little frustrated, a little bummed. I knew I shouldn't have bought that machine after I didn't listen to myself. But live and learn. I'm hoping I got 2 guys I know that both are heavy duty mechanics. I'm hoping I can get one of them up here and I don't get gouged too bad, but I don't know what else to look at. I don't want to start replacing parts and just start guessing. That gets expensive quick on a diesel. So anyways, back to what I came up here for. I wanted to start on this septic field, lay it out I guess, and figure some things out. But looking at this, geez, I got quite a bit of material to remove. Alright, so with my septic field, I got to be 3 meters away from any building, and then 7.5 meters from the bank. Now I guess for everyone else out there, that's 9 foot 10, 3 meters. Alright, so change the plans. I'm going to swap my digging bucket, put my cleaning bucket back on. I'm going to move that pile out of here. It's in the way. It bugs me it being there, so I'm going to get that put out of the way. I'm going to place it over there where we got our hole. See if I can bury it there, but I think I got too much, so we'll see. Alright, we're going to backfill this with as much sand as we got up here right now and then continue on digging. Alright guys, I don't know if we're going to get this on video, but I just walked out of the sea cannon. There's like 3 or 4 elk walking through the woods here. Looks like they're eating the ash. There's about 4 or 5 of them. More. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 15 of them. As my gridlessness buddy would say, this is awesome. Well, I think I'm gonna let him be. That's pretty spectacular that the first time I've seen him here on the property, 20 of them. Here they go. Oh, there's even more, there's farther out. Look at them all go. That's insane. That was cool. I thought there was only 3 at first because I came out and I spotted their butts. And then I tried sneaking up on them as you saw there, and I thought they saw me, but I was lucky the wind was going the opposite way and we were able to get in there close. But that's pretty neat. Small though, they weren't that big. Maybe a little bigger in the fall. A little tasty. Woo-wee! It is a cold one this morning, but it's going to be a warm, I think we're going to hit like 20 degrees Celsius today. So I'm kind of excited for that. I think what we'll do first thing, we'll get the excavator fired up and then get her greased up. And then I think we'll drive down to the bottom and pick up some sand, fill that tank in, and go from there, I guess.
Since Chris still cannot get the rock truck to run, he now has to make the long trek down with the excavator all the way to where we have our gravel screener parked, with the little bit of sand that he has piled there from running the machine. Now to make the long drive back up the hill to the opposite side of the house, taking roughly 7 to 10 minutes each trip.
Alright, we made it. Wasn't as bad as what I thought, but definitely wasn't the rock truck. Alright, so just so everyone knows, I'm not an expert at septic install. I hired a professional engineer to design it. I guess in the area that I'm in, I'm allowed to install it myself. It'll get checked by the engineer and signed off on him. So this is by no means a how-to, not an expert, but I know the basics. I know how to look online and figure things out. So there's a look here at that's my distribution box. I'm gonna have it as close to the septic tank as possible, because where I've got this excavated, there's a certain I got to be 7.5 meters from the end of my run of my field to the bank on either side. So I'm limited because I don't want to be digging farther out. I want this area around the house as small as possible. Otherwise it's going to look like a big commercial cleared trucking lot, and I don't want that. I want to keep as much of the landscape as possible. So this is more than what I wanted. Excuse me, but they wanted it 30 meters long with only 3 branches. I shrunk it down to 15 meters, but I'm doing 16 or 6 branches wide. So I'm a bit wider than what it was, but not as long. So I've kept it more of a square than a rectangle. Maybe I think we're gonna have to start stripping down. Strip septic. It's a new game. Alright, so we're in luck. I managed to find my 3-inch. I didn't think I bought any. So the question is, get this gravel out of here. Do we run a 45 off of here and then into the box? Which, the drawback with that is it pushes me too close to my wood boiler setup. I gotta be 3 meters off of that. So then we go straight, and can we 45 these? We need like a 22.5. Well, it looks like I need a 22.5 degree elbow, which I do not have. So it looks like I'm making, well, there's a local hardware store that's about a 45-minute round trip, or I'm heading to the major town, which is a 2.5-hour trip. So we'll be back around lunchtime. All right, so we are back from the store. Took us an hour and a half, saved us an hour. However, I always forget, you go to a small town hardware store or whatever kind of store, you pay double, triple the price. I got 2 4-inch 45s, 3 pieces of 3-inch PVC solid. I got a hole saw and a can of spray paint for 190 bucks. So next time I think it's worth it driving the extra hour, and I probably would have saved 80-90 bucks. But oh well. Let's see how this 22.5 degree elbow looks. See if it goes where I think it will go. We're like that. That's what we want. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Now that Chris has all the correct parts for getting the distribution box in, he can now move forward with gluing everything into place.
Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
With the box glued in, he can now fire up the excavator to get the rest of the spot dug out to be able to lay out the first of the runs on the septic field. Before he can get to putting down any piping, he has to put in pea gravel and level the area.
All right, so that's 20 feet or just over 20 feet of pipe. I think in terms of digging out, I gotta stop there. I'm gonna gravel these pipes, then I guess put down the filter cloth on top of it, and then I'm gonna start backfilling, because as you can see by my pile over there, it's getting too big to the point I don't have anywhere else to put it. That's probably the only time you'll ever see something long and black in my hands. Found a new worker. Almost works harder than I do. All right, so that's 3 lengths in. I'm gonna put in a couple more posts so I know where, or pins, so I know where the septic field is. Spray paint them, and then I think that's it for the weekend. I still have to unload the trailer, and I'm gonna see about getting my diesel transfer pump put on my new tank, and maybe a couple other little things.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week when Chris and I finish off the rest of the piping to complete our septic field. If you like videos like this one and want to follow our off-grid home build, be sure to hit the like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment below.